Hello everyone, I'm Bennett Marcello. This is James Crepea for AL.com. The big news today, of course, on this Saturday, 5th day of camp, Duke Williams is dealing with a, quote, discipline issue, Gus Malzahn said, and he will let us know when he will return to the football field. But as of now, James, the question is, when does he return? Will he return to the football team as Auburn's #1 receiver and one of the best players overall in the country?
And what will the impact be either way? We know what the impact will be if he comes back. We know what the impact could be to this offense and what Duke means. It's an all-world receiver, one of the top in the country. He won't be the only thing that makes this offense run, but he's going to be a major factor in it if he's here. If he's not, what does that mean? It's not simply, oh, well, next man up. That sounds nice in theory. It's not that simple. And ultimately, as I asked in the press conference, and this is a question that I'm sure Gus Malzahn is going to have to wrestle with throughout this process, is very simply, your theme is count on me. Can you count on this young man? Can you count on him? And the answer wasn't yes or no. The answer was, it's not a practice. Well, that'll tell you everything you need to know. Can you even count on him right now? If you don't know the answer to that, well, how can he be here? How can he be a member of the team? He's not now, but how can he be going forward? That's going to be very tough for him to address. Look, this is probably the biggest issue that Gus Malzahn has had to deal with off the field during his tenure here. Other than, obviously, what was a tragic situation with Jaquel Mitchell. Even the Nick Marshall stuff, even the Jonathan Mitchell stuff from a year ago, not anywhere near that.
Because those are one-time
deals.
And they were minor offenses. In fact, one was so minor it was just a citation. And this is an issue where, obviously, what we believe, it's not dealing with the law, but the problem is it's not a one-time thing. He was suspended back in December before the Outback Bowl, did not play in the Outback Bowl. He sent a tweet insinuating that he was thinking about leaving Auburn back in May. It was quickly deleted, and it prompted Damian Craig, got him fired up enough to feel like he had to respond and let everybody know everything was, quote, Gucci, and post a picture of himself with Duke in his office to let everybody know everything's okay. And then now you have this. So it's every few months something's popping up. And when you have something popping up like this, again, whatever it is, the discipline issue, he's not practicing. When does he return? And when he does return, does he miss any time in the opener? Because most players out there are practicing throughout preseason camp. They're out there every day grinding, and then you have a player that will come in late possibly in practice. Do you treat him the same way as everybody else?
And ultimately, this is not about what he's missing right now.
Right.
The quality of missing 1 or 2 practices, look, if you were injured, say there was a legitimate reason. The quality of what you're missing, this is not about that. Oh, he missed 1 practice, he missed 2 practices, they weren't even in pads, they were in the pads on the first day. It's not a matter of that. Yeah, this is a matter of, there are 105 guys, as Brett Lashley pointed out, who are on that field practicing. He's worried about them. They're working hard. One guy isn't. One guy's not here. Well, if you're one of that 105 who is, and you're looking at a teammate who you may care about and you may trust and you may believe in, but if he's not acting the same as you are, and he's able to get away with all of that, and look, Gus Malzahn said nobody's above the team. So we'll see exactly what that means, what any discipline may come down the pipe for Duke, and what that may mean. Does that mean playing time, etc.? That's why semantics or what have you, the word suspension was not used.
Right.
So we have to see what an uncertain future could mean. But it could mean relying on, frankly, unproven wide receivers to have to step up and do a lot of things they haven't done yet.
And without Duke, as you said, you have to go to guys that have not even been in the top 2 receivers over the past years, and then you're suddenly asking them to not only step up and be better, but hey, be the #1 guy on this team and lead everybody. And also, by the way, we need you to catch 800 yards worth of passes this season. And if Duke does not play or misses any time, it directly affects the perception of this team in the polls and among the national guys and everything. This is a team that's #7 in the USA Today poll. The AP poll comes out the 23rd. If there is still some uncertainty with Duke, I guarantee you Auburn will not be #7 in the AP poll.
No.
They will be much lower. How much lower? Maybe 5 to 10 spots. Duke is that important to this team from an offensive production standpoint, because the way they're going to do this offense with Jeremy Johnson, they're going to throw the ball, and they've got to have a reliable guy in the middle of the field. And really, as of this moment, the only guy you know that can step up and be a reliable guy in the middle of the field, from what we've seen based off previous seasons, is Duke. And that's it. And that perception is what people have outside of Auburn. So if Duke is out of the equation, Auburn's going to take a little bit of a tumble in the polls.
Yeah, and this is, it's very hard to make an analogy to this, because don't even begin to compare to the NFL. Don't even think about it, because everyone in the NFL is a professional receiver, and there's more consistency, and they've usually proven it at some level, most likely at the collegiate level. That's how they got there in the first place. Right. So if a top guy goes down, or someone's suspended, or what have you, I'll go sign somebody else, or go to the next guy in the depth chart out of the top 6 pros. That's a whole, don't even begin that comparison. Collegiately, you've seen obviously when Treadwell went down last year for Ole Miss, that wasn't the only issue they had. There were other factors, but it can derail the end of their season. Now, this is leading into it. You have more time and preparation, but if you lose a player of that ilk, of that caliber, and everyone believes Duke is, that can obviously derail the season.
If you're in a similar situation as Auburn was against Kansas State late, and you do not have Duke Williams with the team you have right now, who do you go to? Who are you throwing to on 3rd and long, trying to get a first down to ice the game? Who are you throwing to on the fade route?
You're throwing out the 3rd down period.
Right.
Because if you look at Duke's stats last year, the #1 thing was his 3rd down.
3rd down perception. Yep.
So who are you throwing to in 3rd down? That's very simple, direct. Who are you throwing to on 3rd down? It's 3rd and 8. Who are you throwing to?
Yep. A lot of questions with Duke Williams. Auburn takes the day off Sunday for Fan Day, and then Monday they'll scrimmage inside the stadium behind us, and that's when we'll start hearing more about position battles and how guys are actually performing. Auburn put full pads on Saturday, and things will start really cranking up here in the coming days. We'll have much more coverage on Duke and football practice and anything else Auburn related at AL.com.